Your delts either make or break your physique.
Most lifters have flat shoulders, and rather be direct or indirectly, they always make the same mistake, which I'll talk about. And the two exercises which you need to make your shoulders wide and bold in this guide. So let's talk about shoulders. Your shoulders are what that completes the V-taper. They make your chest pop, they make your arms thicker, and they add width to your back. Now, to develop such delts that completes the tapers, we have to understand the basics of the shoulder. Your shoulder has three delts: front delt, side delt, and rear delt. And the common mistake done here is most people indirectly overtrain their front delts as compared to their side and rear delts. This doesn't create the 3D look which you were looking for, and oftentimes your physique looks flat from back or side. But why are the front delts overtrained in the first place? Your front delts are already smashed enough from your horizontal and inclined presses like the bench press, dumbbell press, push-ups and dips, whereas your side delts and rear delts are left on the table. So in this guide, I'm gonna give you two best exercise for each delt, the side delt and the rear delt, to create that 3D boulder which you were looking for. Whether you are beginner or intermediate, these two will definitely work for you. So first exercise will be your cable lateral raises. Now let's get this. The side delts are the most important delt of your shoulder. They make your shoulders wide from the front and back, and dumbbell lateral raises are not enough, and let me explain you why. In a standard dumbbell lateral raise, the exercise is weakest at the start and hardest at the top, not ideal for maximum muscle growth. So we needed an exercise which provides a good stretch and which is hardest at the start. So I present to you the cable lateral raise with the modified form. So in your standard cable lateral raise, you set the machine at the bottom, but in this one you set the machine to your wrist height. Take one step away from the machine and perform these to your shoulder level. So two things. Number one, your side delts gets a constant tension from the cable and you get a big stretch at the starting. The exercise is hardest at the start and weakest at the top, which is the ideal resistance profile needed for muscle growth. And I personally have just done this one exercise for my side delts and they blew like crazy. But here are two drawbacks. Number one, you can only train one arm at a time, so you have to alternate your hands. And number two, progression in cable lateral raises is not easy. You can't add weight from week to week, but rather you must add a rep from week to week, and once you gain 20 reps on your current weight, you are now eligible to kick up the notch to the next weight. By only just doing this one exercise, we have already covered the wide frame, but a wide frame still needs some roundness and some fullness, and that's where the rear delts help come in. When I finally made my rear delts pop, I improvised my back look, and I often got complimented that my shoulders looked fuller from all of the angles. But I personally felt difficulties in my rear delt training because second you try to load them up in a face pull or in a reverse dumbbell flyer, your upper traps can't help but take over your rear delts. One of the reasons I couldn't even feel my rear delts working in the exercise. So second exercise would be the reverse pec deck, but with one hand. Now in the standard reverse pec deck where you sit facing the machine and sweep your arms out, in this modified version you sit perpendicular to the machine, take the working arm across your body and now sweep your arm till shoulder level. In this exercise, the upper traps are still engaged, but your rear delts will fail first. Just like side delts, your rear delts get a brutal stretch at the starting, ideal for muscle growth, and you get this even tension of the rear delts throughout the motion, ideal for muscle growth. And after just 3 months of doing them, my rear delts started to show in my back poses and I could feel them burning hard on the motions. But for beginners, use lightweight, and if your rear delts are really weak, I would highly recommend you to first get stronger at the traditional reverse pec deck, then transition to these ones, because these ones are a little bit intermediate than beginner friendly. If you have been training for 4-5 months, consider them adding to your routines. So that's all folks. That's the two exercises you needed to bring out your 3D shoulders. Now let's implement them in your routines. Ideally, you should train your shoulders twice a week. That's why I don't support the bro split. You should always train your shoulders twice, and by shoulders I mean your rear and side delts. If you are incorporating movements like the bench, dumbbell, your front delts are getting the stimulation and there's no need for any direct stimulation. But if you want, you can do a low rep dumbbell shoulder press for your front delts once a week. But if you follow a push-pull legs, take your side delts on your chest day and your rear delt on your pull day. Try them for 3 months and let me know in the comments or on my Instagram about how you felt. I personally have tried them and they are superb. That's all folks, that's all you need to hear for your shoulders. And on the personal note, I'm looking for 3 guys who are mentally ready to change themselves and are looking for a free coach. Click the first link in the description for my free one-on-one coaching and we can talk about this more on this personally. Thank you for watching.